So it's Yeza. Hello,
Yeza's
everybody.
in the building. All
Big
right,
up, Nikki.
you broke on the scene right before COVID. So you're now coming out of COVID and now in a little bit more of a mature state of your career because you've learned over the years, you've learned a few things. You even got a project with Sizzla. So catch up those who don't know the name yet and get them more familiar with who you are and exactly where you originated from.
All right, so I'm from Eastside Bull Bay, and I've been doing it for a little while now. As you mentioned, Sizzla Kalonji project that happened just, a few months ago with Glory. And right now, I have a single out called Tech Chat, Easy Me. I'm currently working with Rory Stone, Big Up Yourself, on a new project. And so, yeah, we're doing the work. So there, and in terms of my sound and my music, just look out for streets mixed with culture, and I call that Rude Girl Roots.
Streets mixed with culture. Now, that's always a blend that actually works really well because, let's be honest, that's really where the culture still lies, inside the streets. But a lot of people have different interpretation of the culture. So in your eyes, when you think Jamaican culture, what comes to mind?
So Jamaican culture is not really independent of itself, in my view. Jamaican culture comes from African origins, and so Jamaican culture is an integral synergy of what it has birthed by itself in conjunction with inspiration from the continent. We're talking about Ghana, Ivory Coast, because historians have dated that, a lot of us have come from that coast, the Ivory Coast, West Coast, Ghana. So I think it's an amalgamation or mixing of those ideas and vibes when it comes to sonically, but also expression-wise. So if you want simple examples, when you look at me, I see my beads in my hair. So that's a physical example. But sonically, we're talking now about like the drum and the bass. Those things are very hot feeling and motion. And also when you talk about the gyration of the waist in a dancehall and them things are African. So that's what I mean by culture.
Do you think there's a part of our culture that we are really not paying attention to, or we need to push more than what we're doing now or do more for? Or even one of our, I should say, national heroes that might not have been recognized yet?
It's a tricky question. I think that depending on where you look, when I'm looking in the reggae space, I feel like the Back to Africa movement and the Sankofa and all of that stuff is very much represented in the music. I'm not sure if people are practicing what they're preaching, but it is very much a part of the music when you look at reggae music. In terms of dancehall, I feel like it delves into the whole sonic vibe. So when you look at the influence of Afrobeats, and even before Afrobeats, as I said, just the foundational aspect of the music, dancehall itself is heavily influenced by sounds of Africa. When you really trace it back, you can look at some of the original Mandem and see that there is so much similarities in the sound. So I think it depends on where you look. For me, in reggae music, it is there. African representation is there. When you look at dancehall, it's there, but in a different way, sonically, I'd say.
All right, well, we have Yeza in the building, and she's hanging out with us, and here she is. We're going to take it back a little bit before we play the new one, Tech Chat. We're going to take it back with a little Glory. This one features the one and only Sizzla Kalonji.
Sizzla being featured, yo.
That's right, Yeza is in the building, and that right there, Glory. Now, like I said, as far as I know, you broke out on the scene pretty much right before the pandemic, right around 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, whatever your interpretation of me breaking out is fine.
Well, this is what this states. So what is your terminology of breaking out?
I never really see a breakout still. Well, I just been doing my thing still.
I think what they mean is that's when you dipped your toe in the pool in a more professional way. Is that right or wrong?
I have no problems with that. Yeah.
No?
No
Was
problems.
it before?
I don't know. As I said, I've not really been keeping track. I've just been head in and doing the work. So whatever you see as me breaking.
But I'm asking you to tell the people, when did you go head in?
I've always been head in. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
From you came out.
Exactly.
So when did you actually start doing it on a professional standing?
Professionally,
okay.
The first single was out since 2017.
Yeah, so it is 2017. All right, thank you. All right, so Yeza's in the building. Now you have this new song called Tech Chat. What is that about?
All right, so Tech Chat is about really kind of like attitude vibes, but more so on a level. We have to keep things on a level same way. Where I say, we don't really tech chat in circumstances where we realize a deception are going, you know what I mean? So like we're all for the government and we're all for people who are leading us, but we're not idiots and we still see certain things. The collective people know when certain things not so 100 and I want to take chat when that is the case.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I hear people say take chat a lot, but wouldn't you also say sometimes that phrase is loaded? Because when I hear people say we don't take chat, they just automatically go off the rip and will say we're not going to take it without making any counter strategy to actually figure out how to make whatever's coming at them better. So it's like sometimes, in chess, it's a little bit different. So when
exactly.
Yeah, so let's check out the track.
I was just about to say that this is just a part of the piece, you know, this is not the whole move.
Not the whole
If you want
puzzle.
to refer to the chess thing, it's not the whole move, so it's just inspiration, I can't do everything. So the music of
that's a piece of the
be
puzzle.
a piece side. So,
all right, so Yeza's in the building. Take chat. Let's check it out. It's the Bridge 99. That's right, Yeza is in the building, and that is the new track, Take Chat. Now, in this very competitive industry, how do you plan on taking the road differently and building the fanfare? Because what we're seeing right now is even going the Instagram way. We're seeing people with 1 million followers still not being able to sell albums. You know what I mean? So we see some other artists going back in the streets, going back grassroots. So how are you planning to, as still a new artist that's breaking into the scene, going and tackling and getting yourself that new fanfare?
Basically, my team and I, it's not really up to me. It's not everything is thankfully not on my head top. So Xavier's here. That's one of my co-management, and basically we just look at what's there, look at what's on the table, look at the specific track, and then we kind of just curate how we're going to approach the scene, considering what's there, considering what the track has to offer. And we do all of that before we head out with the release plan. So really that's what we're doing. We're doing our homework. We don't have it all figured out, but we're doing our homework.
What do you want the fans to know about you as an artist or as a person?
I think for me, just know that from We Live It, We Speak It, I think really that's the best I can say about myself. I'm straight through. Like, I would say I'm very authentic. Once you hear it, once you see it, that's me.
All right, where can people follow you, find you, and let them know anything you need people to know about you, your brand, and what you got coming up?
All right, so you can follow me on all of the social platforms. Then make sure you follow me on Spotify if you like the sound. And that's Yeza, Yeza, music, everywhere. Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, everything, Audiomack, iTunes. And basically, I have more in store as it relates to the other projects. As I said, working with Rory Stone Love as well. So hopefully the project will be ready soon. Not going to really say any dates, but yeah.
Nah, no time needs to be stamped until the time needs to be stamped. And we
Yeah.
already know Rory is family. He's part of the station right here. So I'm sure he'll keep us posted too.
Yeah,
Yeza in the building.
Give thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you for passing through the show.